One Team One podcast is back, episode 132. Huge win that we're going to talk about. I have Jack and Charlie with us. We're going to talk about Ole Miss. Huge weekend for LSU. Huge for one of our sponsors, Fred's, as well, with Barstool coming in, and we're going to talk a little bit about that and all that stuff. Had a little bit too much fun on Saturday at Fred's. We can kind of go over all that. Lots to talk about. Obviously, it's a bye week, so we're not going to really get into the nuts and bolts of LSU Alabama this week, but we'll kind of talk about some old memories of LSU Alabama games, and then talk about It's always fun to laugh at Texas A&M, so we're going to do that as well. But before that, let's get into some of our sponsors. We appreciate Bank of England Mortgage. Patrick Michelson over at Bank of England Mortgage has been great for us. Check them out at boesouthernstates.com, 225-810-1805. They have a fast app feature online that you can apply for a mortgage or a refi right there, and then they can call you and figure out the right product for you. So check them out. They're our audio sponsor for all of our podcasts. And then we just talked about this Fred's Bar, Fred's in Tigerland. Dude, they were rocking and rolling this weekend. Like, Mark Frioli had this complete gleam in his eye, which was so awesome to see. The guy's been doing this forever. He's like a very proud dad moment kind of thing with Fred's, with Barstool coming in. Pretty incredible weekend. So we appreciate those guys. I'm actually going to an event Tuesday. It's a cigar event that they're doing at Fred's, and Nay over at Fred's invited me out. So hopefully I can get some pictures and all that of the event. Also, River City's Total Maintenance, Lucas Ragusa, always great with us. NOLA-AC.com. Check them out for all your AC maintenance needs. Air is getting up and down right now. You had cold weather. You're going to have hot weather again. You need to get everything checked out right now before it gets too late. Call them. River City's Total Maintenance, North Shore and New Orleans area. We appreciate Lucas. All right. So let's get to it. Ole Miss.
Ass whooping.
I mean, we didn't expect this. I know,
no.
But also, 17-3, Ole Miss is winning. Here we go again, and I think I tweeted out, and I think I'm going to keep tweeting this out. We have them right where we want them. We have them right where we want them.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, defensively, the adjustments that these guys keep making at halftime is something I've never seen out of an LSU team. I'm not used to seeing a team that can make that kind of adjustment and completely shut down people in the second half. But at the same time, they start wearing on them, and this kind of felt like the Mississippi State game, right? Whereas we shut them down in the second half, and then we started wearing them down and started putting up points and kind of pulling away at the end, which is crazy to me.
Right.
That you did this to Ole Miss.
Yeah.
My
brother came to the game. It was insane. And he goes, this was the best football I've seen in a while. And my brother's not a huge, sit around and watch a football game kind of guy, especially if it's on TV or something. He'll come in and out. But he came to the game, and he'll always Florida State and stuff. He almost left Florida State early. But he goes, this was awesome. This was the best football game I've been to in a while. He goes, he asked to come to Alabama. I was like, if I could get you a ticket, I'll get you a ticket. But it's going to be expensive. I was like, you're not getting a $80 ticket from me for Alabama.
I have a pair, and I'm going to the game, but I could sell the pair. It's in the South End Zone. I could sell the pair for $600 for the pair.
Yeah.
And
get away with
it. Yeah, because we actually talked about that before the season, right?
Right?
Yeah, we were talking about that before the season. Okay, buy your season tickets because you had found them on a ticket exchange or something like that.
Yeah, it was on Tiger Droppings.
Okay, Tiger Droppings. Shout out Tiger Droppings.
Week after, or 2 days after we lost to Florida State.
Right.
I was if the season turns around, these tickets are going to be worth a lot more than $1,200 for a pair of season tickets, which is what I bought them for.
Shit. Wow.
And basically, you could sell the Alabama game to basically pay for
the whole season,
50 to 75% of the.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was if something happens at work or something like that, someone's just giving out tickets, I'll take them and then
go
flip my tickets.
Absolutely.
so far.
And you're like, okay, what if the podcast hits it big? We have a suite by then, stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. I knew Dave Portnoy was coming in town. Maybe try to work something out, but
yeah,
I didn't get backstage like y'all VIP fellas.
Well,
did,
because you weren't there.
Yeah.
Because I had to drop William off.
Oh, that's right. Oh no, that was a shit show.
I got hosed. I'll just say it now. I got hosed.
I hung out with Theo Vaughn for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Fun. I actually did this. To Dave Portnoy. He was walking off the stage, and I went like this, and I was like trying to high five anybody that was coming off the stage.
Sure.
And really, I wanted Big Cat. Me and Big Cat, I feel like we could be friends if he would let it happen. But like Dave was coming off, and I went like this, and he just kind of like he literally human snailed me. He just ducked underneath.
He turned into a snail kind of thing.
And I'd held it up there. I was like, nope.
That's when you're supposed to high five yourself when that happens.
No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna give him the satisfaction. That's why your ass went to the Red. That's why you went to Red Zeppelin and you got shit pizza.
Yeah, Dave, you suck. I love you.
But all right, so there was another instance. I didn't know. I'm the fucking old guy. I don't know a lot of these people, but like, was it Drewski?
Right. Yeah, Drewski.
Yeah, so Drewski's there. I don't know who he is. Will didn't even know who he was. Will's sitting there talking to him, and Drewski's saying, "Oh yeah, what do you guys do?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, we have this podcast, and we have, we do some TikTok videos." And he goes, "Oh, let me see the TikTok." And so he pulls it up, and he goes, "Oh, y'all have a good following." He goes, "Oh, thank you." He goes, "Yeah, I do a TikTok too." And he goes, "Oh, what? Let me see yours." And he shows him his TikTok, and I think he's got 4 million followers,
like 4.5 to 5 million followers.
And Will goes, "Oh." Like, who are you again?
Shit. I must have been long gone by then. I was like, I would have known that's fucking Drewski.
I still can't believe William didn't know who that was.
I'm surprised by that. Like,
maybe it was just like he didn't.
William's on TikTok. Like, I don't understand.
Well, maybe he just like didn't recognize him at first or something. Maybe
I don't know. I mean, he's a very recognized. He's a very like unique looking dude.
Right? Well, look, I was sitting next to Will Stout the whole time. I didn't know what Will Stout looked like anymore. I remember seeing him a few years ago when he was here, but I didn't know So me and him were just watching the game together, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm doing these videos and stuff." I was like, "Wait, who are you again?" Mm-hmm. He's like, "Will." I was like, "Will Stout? Okay, yeah, I know who you are." So I know y'all know Will.
Yeah, I went to high school and middle school with him,
right?
So I actually know him like fairly well.
Yeah, we're best friends now, me and Will. So anybody that gets to know me, I think they're like. So he's gonna send us some clips. Apparently, I don't know what that means. He's sending us clips.
Video he took, man.
Oh, bro,
they posted that. Holy shit,
dude,
that was awesome.
Guy is so fucking talented.
Yeah,
like
shit.
Because I see what he's doing when he's taking his video.
He ever made was for my 7th and 8th grade football team. Actually, I need to ask him if he's got any like archived clips of.
Yeah, so we can post that. Hey, he's first.
Spoiler alert: he definitely does, and I didn't play very much that year, but it's all good.
What he does is like so, and I geek out about that stuff. Is that he is like he's just videoing regularly, and then what he does back in like post is he's doing all these like crazy like transitions like back and forth and speeding things up and slowing them down. That stuff is just like blows me away, bro. Like when I see that stuff,
he's able to like
crazy.
I mean, obviously he's probably getting paid pretty well to do this stuff when it's like bar and things like that. But he's able to like turn that around in like 2 days. That's
not sleeping.
Because I talked to him the next morning, and we were all hungover. Like, and he was like, "Oh yeah, bro, I'm done today." So he didn't even do anything. I think Sunday. He probably just did this on Monday morning.
And they posted it. What?
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
yeah, one day he just turned it all around in one day. You know how many fucking shots he probably had? Oh my god,
he's not sleeping Sunday, Monday. Like he's just purely working on that because. It's such like an intensive thing. Like I used to do a lot of photography because I was just like, I love having a camera and like taking landscapes and doing sports photography. It is insanely fucking hard to do what he's doing. It's just monotonous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
it's like with guys like that, it's like people who make music. Like you can just kind of like throw it together and like you're so good at it that like even
they're operating a different part of their brain at that
point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so Ole Miss, we completely stick it in them.
Yep.
We go in raw in the second half, and we start bullying them around. And I figured that could happen with our offense against their defense, but you know, even on the defensive side against their offense, like of course, like Harold Perkins coming in and like really playing a big amount in the second half. It's just like, I mean, what else do you need to see from this guy at this point? Like,
Yeah.
just to play the guy all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine if we got ahead in a game? Oh my god,
Got ahead in the game. What do you mean?
got ahead and like score. Like, can you imagine if we actually had a game where we actually were?
Oh, like started
know,
ahead.
early.
Yeah, say we go against Alabama and we go up 10-0. You know, like what's
Then
going to
I'd be
happen?
scared because we hadn't done that all season.
Yeah,
True.
no, I actually I'm thinking Alabama needs to go up like 10-0 with like
For
Yeah,
me to be
right.
comfortable.
like get like 10 minutes into the game. Yeah, that's like where I'm comfortable with this team playing.
I love your post where it's like it's like 3 scores and you're like, we won all these games and we were down like 2 touchdowns in every
yeah.
single one of them, and all these people that comment underneath it going, you better not do that against Alabama.
And like, you know,
I got it, bro.
fair.
Yes,
Yeah.
but like, come on, man. Like, Jesus Christ.
But yeah, I mean, no, for sure. No, I mean, we definitely got to get off to better starts. But
Yeah. I don't think we got off to a bad start. It was just defensively. There was obviously like we got off to a bad start defensively. You give up 2 touchdowns and a field
gave up
goal.
17 points in what, like?
Right, my bad. I should have fixed that
I mean,
statement.
yeah, that's yeah.
But
It was
offensively, I just thought
awful.
it was
The offense
that
was
first
fine.
drive.
You
we were
outscored the
hampered
number.
by bullshit.
You outscored the
then-
number 17 in the country, 42-3.
Right.
Like to end the game. That's just. I mean, we beat them by 25 points. I understand we could have started off early, but like, this is domination, man.
Two really good quarters is usually going to win a football game, and usually by a lot.
Yeah,
that's usually how it goes.
Okay, so Jaden Daniels, you're saying Heisman?
I didn't say Heisman. I said
It's a
he's
little
putting
late,
up
but
Heisman
yeah.
numbers the past 2 games, but yeah, you know, actually, I mean, like if he put this up every single week the rest of the year, and we beat Bama and we
Okay,
win
so
the championship,
hypothetically,
obviously
Hypothetically,
but
we
if he did all that, he's winning the Heisman.
We say we beat Alabama. Jaden Daniels is like 74% passing, throws for 280, runs for 100 yards, and has 4 to 5 total touchdowns against Alabama.
He's going to be in a lot of people's, like, he's going to rise
dark
up
horse or like
he's
not
going
even
to
dark horse at that
He's
point.
going to rise up the Vegas odds. I mean,
I was about to say, if it's looking good that Friday before, put $100 on it just that Friday before to see, hey, fuck.
Right.
Like,
Friday before what?
The
right,
Bama game.
The game,
because
Alabama game.
If he has that kind of performance after the Alabama game, his odds are going way up, and you're not going to get like I'm sure his odds are pretty like
they're still pretty low. Someone DM'd us actually this past week and said that they should send a screenshot that they put down. I think it was only like $2 on Jaden to win like 8,000 to 1.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, that was good.
I think what was the payout? I can't even remember.
I'm sure
it was something crazy. Yeah.
It was a good chunk. It was like $1,600, something like that, and they only put down 2.
There's that guy in the NFL that put down a Eagles Bills Super Bowl, and it's like the payout is like $250,000 on like a $150 bet.
Wow.
I don't know why, because of the Eagles, I guess, but
yeah, probably the Eagles.
Picking both teams is just tough. I mean, that's a parlay.
Yeah.
But anyway, about the game, I think I don't know. Everything I feel like I could say is just going to be very general. It's just like defense is good. I was surprised at I mean, shit, I don't know. I was surprised about everything. There's like, what like specific thing could we talk about? It was just everything was really good. I think the biggest surprise was maybe Mekhi Wingo.
Right.
He might be an absolute, like, he might be a top 5 defensive lineman in the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
actually probably is.
He's already PFF'd out that
Well,
way so
right,
far
right.
this season.
I don't care about PFF honestly, but yeah, I'd say it's definitely a good metric, but yeah, I'd say he's probably a top 5 guy in the SEC, probably top 10 guy in the country, and he's only in his second year, so we still
Yeah.
got him another year after
And
this.
he was all freshman all
Freshman,
SEC
right.
last year. Yeah,
That
I
was a
mean,
hell of a pickup that nobody talked about,
I agree.
including us.
Yeah, I think he was overshadowed by literally overshadowed by Mason
My
Smith
Mason
probably.
Smith, right? God,
Uh,
we still
I
don't have
know, right? I don't know. There's a couple of things I always think about, and this is because my fucked up brain. But I'm always like, okay, what if we still had Mason Smith? What if we went for 2 against Florida State? Like
stop.
all those things. I know. That's just me. That's
Not
just
the week
this
for
is
that.
why I'm
Yeah.
Just
an
gross
unhappy
to bring that
person.
up right
Right?
now.
Exactly.
This is why I'm an unhappy person.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
But yeah. So defensively, I thought I was kind of surprised that Ole Miss felt like they went away from the run
Eh,
in parts of the game.
Yeah.
I felt like early
Like
on,
they were throwing
especially
the ball a lot early,
to get up
and
17-3, it was through the passing game,
right.
which is kind of what I was worried about because I felt like we were stacking the box, leaving a lot of one-on-ones, and then they were getting beat. And then I think what ended up happening was we dropped our safeties a little bit. That was kind of the adjustment that we made. I mean, very general.
They had a touchdown that they missed, wide open receiver at one point, and I think it was right before half. Guy was wide open. It could have been another touchdown easy.
Oh,
That
yeah.
Dart overthrew him, and
Threw 'em,
I'd have to
right.
go see it. He may have had some pressure on him then, which
I'm sure he
was
did.
yeah, and that's part of what we were talking about. I think last week was
That's why he threw the pick.
Dart's not corral, right?
Yeah.
If you can get some pressure or put something in his head, he's not like the most accurate guy in the world. So, and we just thought they were just going to be able to run the ball down our throat a little bit. Well, I did.
And they ran the ball. They ran the ball fine. I mean, what he had 20 carries for 120 yards, something like that.
Judkins did,
Judkins, yeah. And
but
then Zach Evans
He's
didn't play.
nasty too.
yeah, he didn't play. I don't know what happened.
So
I still haven't read about that.
that, and then John Emery didn't play. And
Well, Emery got hurt
Emery's got
first
an
play of the
Achilles
game
issue.
for the kickoff.
I didn't
Yeah.
even see that.
He got hurt on the kickoff.
Wow. Damn.
I didn't
Okay.
know that until the next day, obviously. But
I saw an injury update earlier today, and I was like, "That's why he didn't play."
Yeah. So
Well,
it was an Achilles thing.
yeah.
I
So
guess.
Charlie,
I didn't
we
realize
were
it was-
talking about some injury stuff, and you were talking about who's potentially could be ready for next week. But
Major Burns got cleared today.
okay,
Garrett Dellinger, I saw him on campus actually. and his
Dellinger
limp
or
was-
Dellinger?
I don't give a shit.
Have we? It's Dellinger.
I guess.
That's
Okay.
He was walking with a little bit of a limp, but I mean, if you look at it, the dude sprained his MCL. Those people played through that with the limp, so I don't know if he's going to be cleared. I know that they were saying they hoped him to be cleared by then, but to be honest, I like how Bradford played last week.
I agree. I don't know if you come in right now and you mess that up before Alabama. Like I just don't know if that's the case.
If it doesn't look great versus Alabama, do your thing,
Yeah.
rotate them, try to
for
try to
sure.
crush
Yeah.
them.
I'm
That's what
just
we
saying,
talked
like,
about.
Fresh.
This is what we talked about a few weeks ago. Like, if a guard gets hurt on this team, we're fine because Bradford can come in and play great.
right.
We have
Tackle
plenty.
gets hurt.
We have plenty of depth on guards. It's tackles. Either of those tackles goes out, and it's a problem. There's definitely no depth there. But guard, I feel fine. I agree. I think Bradford's, almost just as good as Dellinger because, like, I noticed zero difference when Dellinger was out. I
did. I noticed the difference when Dellinger was out at first because this was Bradford's what I thought was Bradford's first very good game. He had an okay game versus Florida, and he had a not great game versus Auburn.
I'm just talking about this week. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like this week. I noticed zero flaws in the offensive line. They looked fantastic
great.
all day.
Great. Yeah.
Like I wasn't a single moment where I was like, the offensive line needed to play better on that play.
I will say we definitely outcoached Ole Miss by large and far. Like we outcoached the shit out of them in the second half, especially.
Mm-hmm.
and we made Jackson Dart like think he was playing third grade ball again and get scared like
Yeah,
a
and
little
then
bit.
I think
To be honest,
Jaden,
I mean that dude
Jaden,
was scared in the back on the back end of the pocket.
yeah, no, he definitely doesn't play well under pressure. That's what we exposed for sure. But Jaden, I mean, is just the most confident quarterback in the country right now. I
Yeah.
think he's got
Was
to
it
be.
y'all? Was it y'all
He's
that
just
posted that picture? It's like this dude's never not happy playing
Mm-hmm.
football.
yeah,
That was
yeah, that's
Jack.
me.
He's
Yeah.
always smiling.
Uh huh. Yeah, I mean, he's
I thought
just
that was great.
yeah, he's just giddy all the time. I think I said in the comment section, someone said something, and I commented, like he looks like after every touchdown, he looks like he's like a Make a Wish kid who just like got to score a touchdown in the game, kind of thing. Like he looks
Yeah.
that happy. You know what I mean?
video
No,
of
for sure.
Kid getting tackled?
Yeah. Did
I,
you see the actual kid get tackled?
yeah, I saw
And they were
that.
like, no, 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 no.
Yeah, the kid didn't get the
Somebody
memo. That's so
Somebody said
tough.
kid didn't get the memo.
That's,
Oh,
I
that
mean,
was
like I
bad.
feel worse. I feel way worse for the guy who made the tackle than the kid who got tackled. Like, I mean, I'm sure he was fine. He probably, I mean, honestly, some of those like Make a Wish kids, I'm sure like want to take a hit every now and then. It doesn't feel, it feels good.
Yeah. I mean, get you juiced up for the next
Yeah,
play.
exactly. And then he goes and scores a touchdown. I'm sure he scored a touchdown on the next play. They still let him score one. And
Yeah.
I
And
think
then like,
he really felt like he was really in the game. You know what?
no, I think they had
Credit to the
that.
kid for making a tackle.
I think they had to stretcher that kid off.
There's
Yeah.
no way. Are you serious?
No, I'm just kidding.
Jesus.
Where were we at when we talked about Mason? Okay, Jaden Daniels.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jaden.
Make a Wish kid, Jaden Daniels,
Yeah,
obviously.
yeah. Jaden Daniels is the
Uh,
Make a Wish quarterback.
no, yeah, he's always smiling.
He's always
Um,
and he like you can see it like on the television, like when
yeah,
it's zoomed out. Like his
Yeah.
smile is huge.
Dude's got some pearly whites.
Oh my god, he does. Yeah. There he's got a
but no,
he's got a
so
big smile.
offensive line held up completely. They stoned them pretty much the entire game for the pass rush, but it made Jaden Daniels be able to look around a little bit more than normal. But then he was
Yeah.
still able to scramble out and he could find lanes just because he's such a fucking good runner.
Mhm.
I think from the very beginning of the season, I don't know if we'd really like
Let him do that.
you could look back. Well, no, we could look back at the beginning of the season. You could see his scramble ability and be like, he may be one of the best scrambling quarterbacks in the country.
Oh yeah, yeah. No,
Um,
we've said that all year. I mean, I think, right?
I think we have. I think there
Fred
was a lot of people that were shitting on him because he wouldn't be able to make progressions, but it's like at the same time,
Yeah.
he's not
Yeah.
one to throw it into coverage and he doesn't want to take a sack or
Mhm.
Yeah.
throw an interception,
Right.
I also
Yeah.
thought the play calling was great this week. They had that was just goal line 4 tight end set and you throw out of it because you've been
Yeah.
running trap and you figure they're either going to cover Jaden or Mason and either way it's a touchdown.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought that's a great play call. You don't see a lot of offensive coordinators or passing game coordinators kind of come up with that.
Yeah, the
You know
red
what I
zone
mean?
play calling was definitely really good. I agree.
Mhm. You know
Um,
what I think the difference is in the red zone right now is Josh fucking Williams. Like that guy can move a pile, and it
Yeah.
gives that defensive line something to think about to where
Mhm.
they can't just key on Daniels anymore. I don't know. I think we had a really good push. I'm interested to see how
What we
that
do
offensive line is going to do against Alabama, obviously, because that's a different animal. But I can't say anything more than positive stuff out of this game. I mean, it's just fucking amazing, especially if you're down 17-3. We were down. I was like, ugh. I mean, they're rolling. And even I rewatched it the other day, and not Gary, but Brad Nessler, he said the same thing. He was like, they're rolling right now. And it
Mhm.
was sure enough, like that was right when they stopped, and the second half couldn't do
that
anything.
rough in the pisser.
Yeah, roughing the pisser. Yeah.
uh, I think it was I was about to at 17-3, I was about to tweet out like I had it queued up. I was like, if LSU punted at 17-3, I was like gonna fire out a like super overreactionary tweet just because that's what I do. I reaction tweets. It's my favorite thing to do. And I held off, and then we score, we get the stop, we score, and I was like, okay, I guess I'll just delete that one, start
Right.
over. Mhm.
Yes.
It
I
just
think that
the
was a
whole
good idea.
stadium was fucking great, dude. The student section rocked. Charlie, were you
Well,
in the student section?
let me tell you something. there was not enough seats. Somebody gave away too many fucking
Bro,
tickets.
dude, this
Oh.
There
happens
were
every
people.
year.
There were people sitting in the
This happens,
stairs.
Charlie.
There were people.
Were you at the Florida game in 2019? Or
I
were you not at
was.
LSU yet?
No, not in 2019. I was actually in the upper. I was in the upper deck.
Bro, every single row in the 2019 game, every single row, you had people who got to have a seat and people who had to stand the whole game in the entire student section. They double sold, or they either double sold, or there were a lot of people who snuck into the student section.
Yeah.
It was impossible. All the stairs, people were sitting on all the stairs.
Oh, yeah.
It was a freaking nightmare, dude.
Wow.
Every
Dude,
top 10
this
game.
was the exact
like
same thing. I can guarantee you, it was.
Yeah.
You couldn't move. You couldn't move from 30 minutes before the game till probably like 20 minutes into the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's sounds about right, dude. I mean,
So, rushing the field. What are your
Alabama's
thoughts?
gonna be even worse, by the way.
Oh, no
I
doubt.
didn't get to rush the field.
You
I
didn't
was
rush the
pissed.
field.
I left to go to the bars, actually.
Goofball.
5 seconds left.
Golly, that's terrible.
Yeah.
I was
I'm
only
pissed.
saying because
I'm
like
upset.
I was with my girlfriend and she wanted to like get some pictures after the game, so that was like the only reason I was there. I probably would have done the exact same thing otherwise.
Yeah.
So understood.
Well, like I had friends that left early because I had a friend who had like a panic attack before the game, and so
Oh.
they didn't stay. Right. And so they were like, I was like, "Oh, are you feeling okay?" And they're like, "Yeah, no, I'm fine. I'm at the bar now." I'm like, "Oh, okay. I'll meet you at the bar."
Okay, gotcha. Yikes.
So that's why I left. I was like,
Personal drama.
we're up 42 to 20, and
Sure.
what's the point? And then
Oh, so you left before the game ended.
I left with like 15 seconds left in the fourth
So
quarter.
You're just a traitor. I see. That's no problem.
15 seconds left in the fourth quarter, man. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
the game was over.
anything can happen. It's
We were
college
kneeling the ball.
Ah. You don't see. You don't even know how the game ended. It ended on a sack fumble.
Yeah, you don't even know.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
had
I don't
no
even
idea.
know,
You
man.
missed
I
so
don't even
much.
know.
Like you
Yeah.
missed so much.
Yeah, I missed
Thank
getting
you
to
for
rush the
field
field with
storming,
Tate.
Huh?
I don't know.
You're just an absolute goofball. You are. It was a very soft field storming. It wasn't like
Yeah, I
it was
did.
a very
Yeah,
relaxed-
everybody was
it's like,
pissed
we're
because
storming the field, but
we
we're
rushed the
chill about
field,
it,
but
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
right. It was
We're
just like,
not
let's
like
go,
it's
yay!
like,
Yeah,
let's go on the
Well,
field. That sounds like a
look,
good time.
right.
Have you seen the video of the players when we rushed the field? That's
No.
probably my favorite video. Is
What?
the players realize the students are rushing the field and they lose their shit and get hype.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like,
So they're all
they went
excited whenever we
nuts.
did it.
They were like, "Oh yeah!" They were like, "Fuck yeah, this is fucking awesome! Fuck yeah, fuck Ole
Uh-huh.
Miss!" Like, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Who
Honestly,
was that exactly that said that?
Yeah.
I
fuck
think
Ole
it
Miss. Who's-
might have been Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas, maybe.
Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas said, "Yeah, fucking right, fuck Ole Miss."
Yeah, pretty much.
Man, I didn't know
We'll
Flip
that.
that.
misquote them. We'll grossly misquote them.
Flip
I
that.
It
didn't know.
doesn't matter.
I didn't know they curse. That kind of sours the whole thing. To be honest.
That's better than A&M. I mean, you see what they're doing in the locker room.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
You want me to bring up the tweet? We could talk about that.
Not yet. We'll do
Okay,
this in a second. All right, so rushing the field. All right, let me tell you my story of what I did Saturday. I was at Fred's for Barstool. Bocock Brothers Cigars. All those guys were there. Got me a ticket to the game, and I was going to. They had already sent me the ticket, so I was just gonna get into the car, my car that was parked in Tigerland, and go. Probably drive on the other side of campus is what I was thinking, so I didn't have to walk my ass off to the game. Or just figure out somewhere to go, like the way. And I told him, I said, I'm going to be like game time, if not a little bit past game time. So it's like 1:30. I go out. I go to the car. My car is gone. Every car is gone. There was a whole bunch of cars that were parked, and it wasn't at the. I know that Acacia Market very well, and you're not supposed to park in the lot. It wasn't in the lot, but it was on the grass at the street, and there was a whole bunch of cars there. They were all towed. So I didn't have a car. Went back inside, drank my sorrows away before I could get an Uber. So didn't go to the game. And Bocock guys had to check on me, and I was like, bro, you don't even want to know. You don't even want to know the day that's happening today.
You just hey PSA to everybody, you don't fucking park at Acacia. You just don't.
Nowhere close, because they were doing. And it wasn't just me, bro. Like I know T-Bob got towed. I posted something out. I
This
posted
is a
something
known.
out.
This is a known thing. I'm surprised you did. I'm surprised you didn't know this. But yeah,
I
you don't
knew.
park in Akasha.
I knew you didn't park in the lot, but I
No,
parked
yeah,
on the
you don't.
grass
Yeah,
on
you don't park
the
anywhere close to Akasha. They're
Oof.
gonna tell you.
So what was I saying? Oh no, I posted something on social media about it and got like 6 DMs immediately saying, "Hey, we got towed too."
Did anyone
So
send you money?
no, nobody sent us money.
I
Nobody
didn't
sent
think
us
so.
money.
I
I was hoping. I was just like throwing it. It was a funny thing more than anything.
Oh,
But so I go get the car. I couldn't pick it up until Monday, but they were doing some shady shit where they were like, "Pay us $300 now, and we'll bring it back to you." And apparently, they have some little lot right next to Tigerland that they're doing. Oh, it's crazy. So it was parents' night at Fred's on Friday night, and people were getting towed then too. And so I go in there on Monday morning at 8 o'clock to go get my car, and 2 other middle-aged white guys. Look, we could have all been friends. They walk in as well, and I'm like, "Hey, let me guess." And he goes, "I'm never going to fucking Fred's again. I swear to God." Got towed, and I was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." So anyway, and that has nothing to do with Fred's, but these fucking idiots over there at Akasha who I mean, somebody needs to do something about that. That's just unbelievable. It's out of control. Do something about it. It's been going on for way too long. It's so stupid at this point. Have the biggest fucking show ever at Fred's, and then this happens.
There's
Anyway,
12 parking spots.
off my soapbox. It's ridiculous.
yeah, bro.
It was bad. Bad time.
I
Bad
know a
time for your
few.
boy.
I know a few
I
spots.
actually had a great time. I had a great time all day. Everything. Met a whole bunch of great people. It was all good, but like that was bad. Yeah.
You ever find your old lady?
My old lady. What old lady?
The
The
Jeep.
old lady you were looking for.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Met
Yeah.
a person. Met a person.
Yeah, it ain't happening. Yeah, it's done. It's already done.
You're a little older for the Fred's.
I was too old for the Fred's crowd.
The
Yes,
Fred's lady
I was
is,
too old for the Fred's crowd. Still, I mean, yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, you know.
I am talking. I will say this. The sidebar. I am talking to somebody now. Lives in Alabama and is an Alabama fan. How is that going to work?
Whoa.
Is that? I don't know how that's going to work.
I don't know how that's going to work either.
She currently knows that I do an LSU podcast, and I'm actually talking. We're talking all kinds of shit about Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
So,
do y'all want to talk about shit about Alabama right now?
For sure. You know what I want to do is I want to talk about.
They're overrated.
Okay. All right. Clip it.
I think Bryce Young fucking sucks. No, I'm just kidding. I think they're deep. We don't have to talk too much. We'll cap it at 1 to 2 minutes. But I think their defense is. I mean, they played great against Mississippi State, but that's not really that hard to do, in my opinion, anymore. Because
I think if you scheme in the right way, which I think Nick Saban's going to just be able to do that. I should have fucking taken that.
I think once one team plays really well defensively against Mississippi State, everybody follows, and just like it's like, okay, this is what we got to do.
The jury's out at that point. They figured it out.
They played bad against Kentucky. Kentucky figured out the right way to defend them. Alabama just did the exact same thing and basically shut them out until the very last play of the game. That's fine, but again,
that was still a close game too. If you look at the numbers, offensively, defensively,
Bama was up by like 24-0 at halftime, though. It wasn't a close game. It wasn't. I don't think it was a close game at all.
Not by the score. Is that what you mean? Like, you're right.
Yeah. If you look at purely numbers, you would not have guessed the score was 29-0.
You know who fucking balled out in that game, right?
It was 30-6.
Yeah, it was 30-6. You know who balled out? You know who balled out in that game?
Eli Ricks
balled.
Yeah, Eli Ricks had a great
out.
Game. Mm-hmm.
Like, what was that? What is going on? I don't understand.
He's going to have a great game in Baton Rouge, I'm sure.
Oh, I know, and it's going to be Eli Ricks against Keyshawn Butte.
Yeah.
Although it's so crazy.
I'm saying to Eli's mojo dealer, I need you to get it back to him.
Mm-hmm.
Right, yeah.
Throw him off.
If only we had Coy Moore, right?
No doubt, yeah.
I mean,
he's the best. He's better than all of them.
He's better than all of them, man.
He's better than Keyshawn. But I think so. If you look at their 3 road games they've played this year, and if you even go back to last year, they had some really bad road games.
You talking about State or no, Alabama? Alabama.
Against Texas, Obviously, they only won by a point, but before Quinn Ewers went out, which was, I think, in the first quarter, if not very early second quarter,
Second quarter.
maybe it might have been early second quarter, but it was like he only played about a quarter. He was dicing them up. I mean, in about a quarter of play, he had 130 yards. He was like 9 for 12. I mean, Bama, like literally, their defense was caving. You go to, and then what's the other guy's name? Hudson Card came in and
Yeah,
like
he
was
was
just
Yeah.
serviceable. Honestly, almost won him the game still.
but he got hurt and fucked with us.
Yeah, right. So that just didn't end up working out for Texas. Plus, we'll talk a little bit more about next week, but Texas got hosed. I mean, there was that safety.
Oh, the Alabama game. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Go on to Arkansas. I think KG Jefferson had something like 250 yards through 3 quarters. Then he gets hurt. And after he gets hurt, Bama, ends up running up the score on him, wins by 23. But
And then Hendon Hooker.
and does finish that game. Maybe Arkansas wins that game. I don't know. And
Right.
Alabama had a backup quarterback in too. But, who knows? Against starting quarterbacks, they've been awful. And then obviously, I don't even have to bring up the Tennessee game. We all know that Hendon Hooker went for, however many yards he wanted to. But basically, my point is against starting quarterbacks on the road this year, that defense has been very vulnerable. So I wouldn't be surprised if Jaden gets his way too.
Right. I
LSU by 40.
I mean, I was saying taking the over, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I think that could be the case
I
like
for
the over.
sure.
I like the over.
I mean, I still am a huge Bryce Young fan. I think that he's fucking awesome.
I'm not a fan, but
No, not a fan. I shouldn't say that. No, I just want him to play for the Saints.
Sure. I mean, I'll be a fan if he's for the Saints for sure.
When both teams score and the over hits, LSU wins.
When both teams
score points. So, like, if
the
we're not
over
talking like an
ever
LSU
hit with-
blowout,
has
like
the
when-
over ever hit without both teams scoring?
2018, I think I think it was like 25 points, maybe. I don't know.
There's no way.
No, well, the thing is like LSU Alabama historically has been a low scoring affair.
There's no way the total was 25.
I don't know. I'm pulling some shit out of my ass, basically saying
Right?
if it's a high scoring game.
Oh no, I'm
LSU
trying to
is
help
gonna
out
win.
your stat here. Anytime the over hits, LSU wins. Would that probably be accurate?
That's what I'm going with.
Yeah,
Over hits, LSU wins.
that's pretty crazy. So you're saying take the over plus LSU money line.
Plus LSU money.
Okay, I like it.
I like that too.
I'm all for it.
All
You
right,
could do
so
that with like plus 500 odds or something like that.
y'all were talking about some old LSU Alabama games. Y'all
I
mentioned
just pulled it up.
2018. What are some moments or memories that you guys have from some other games? LSU,
Do y'all remember
but not. I just
the
posted.
2019 game.
Yeah, not the 2019 game.
No,
That's all you.
That was the one when it was like Joe Burrow and Justin Jefferson.
Tua fumbled the ball at the 1 and nobody hit him.
Yeah, that Tua guy. Right. Okay, no 2019.
Can't anything other than 2019 because everybody's gonna say that.
Charlie and I are younger, so we agreed that the only 3 games that we can really think of are 07, 10, and 11. So
Okay.
Wins.
2007 was very fun. That was like, I think Chad Jones's kind of like coming out party. He had the strip sack, fumble.
2007. Yeah.
That led straight. I think it was a fumble and then recovered for a touchdown. Or no. It was
recovered at the 1, and then Hester scored.
Yeah,
again.
Hester punched it in right for the win. Matt Flynn had a
That
great
was
game that day.
Saban's first year at Alabama.
Correct. Right.
Yeah.
And then the next year, actually, 2008 was also a really fun game. It went to overtime.
Yeah. Right.
That was his first game back in Baton Rouge, obviously. But although that's not true because he played 1 game in Baton Rouge with the Dolphins.
Yeah, because they were playing the Saints.
Little factoid. 2010 was fun. That was like Jordan Jefferson and Jarrett Lee were still doing like the dual 2 QB system thing. They both played pretty well. It was one of Jordan Jefferson's best games of his career. Defense kind of just shut Greg McElroy and Julio Jones and Trent Richardson down. That was the D'Angelo Peterson reverse off the power toss. That was one of the best plays I've ever seen. Best play calls.
That was great.
On
Great
4th
play.
1 too. When you easily could have kicked the field goal to take the lead, I think at the time, which is just makes it even more ballsy. But and then obviously 2011 9-6 is one of the more classic games of all time, game of the century in Tuscaloosa. They missed 5 kicks, all these things.
Yes. What about some of the? Okay, I hate to do this, but what about some of the ones that we lost?
2012 and 14 stick out.
2012 was probably the most painful loss that I've ever. Well, I shouldn't say that. The game that we don't talk about. The national championship game. The other 2012 with McCarron and TJ Yeldon in Tiger Stadium.
Yeah, that's a tough one. But that was
a tough one.
There's also like a lot of people remember that game for being one of the most fun games of all time. Like just stadium atmosphere, all these kind of things. A lot of people do talk about that game still. Like even outside of LSU and Alabama, people do still bring up that game as like one of the most fun atmospheres that's ever.
Yeah, the most fun atmosphere that I've ever seen at LSU was 2018.
28. The game fucking sucked. So
the game was awful.
Yeah,
but yes, it was one of the most. I've never seen
yeah,
Tiger Stadium.
A lot of I've heard people say that it was like I wasn't at the 2012 game, unfortunately, but I've heard people say that like 2012, 2018 pregame, exact same. Maybe even 2018 was a little bit better.
That was right when Mo Bamba came out and they played it on the loudspeaker.
And they did the haka in front of the student section, dude.
And then Ed Ogeron was like going fucking nuts going down the hill. And it was like everybody was so fucking jacked up.
Yeah.
And then you went into the game and just like
completely jacked up, drunk and shit faced.
I'll never forget that game.
When Tua threw the pick late second half, that was the loudest I've ever heard the stadium get. I think it was Todd Harris, who's still
I remember the first drive.
Tua got hurt.
Tua threw to he threw it to the sideline, and Jaden Waddle made a catch on the sideline and made this. He was a true freshman, made this incredible catch, and I remember I'll never forget after he caught it, he looked back at like who was our corners back then? I don't even remember.
It was probably Fulton
or Greedy, one of them. Yeah, he like did it, and then he was like, he did this to him, and I was like, oh my fucking god, this guy's a beast. He's a true freshman. Yeah, but it was crazy. That game was
that
so
2018 Alabama team didn't win a championship, but that was in person, other than 2019 LSU, the best team I've ever seen.
Yeah, even though Tua is faking his injuries the entire time or whatever, and like faking a limp and all that stuff.
And then he had a 60-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, it's like okay, he's hurt and he's still pulling away from people. Okay, bro. Yeah, right. All right. Look, there's a couple. We posted this on Twitter.
2016 was also a really fun game, by the way.
Okay, so LSU 2011, obviously.
Yeah.
Hold on.
2016, the 10-0 game was really fun. Though it was 0-0 going into the fourth quarter. Like, I mean, that was one of the
40 responses.
That was the Jalen Hurts game where there was like 5 holds on that play. By the way,
you see, like I don't want to talk about it. All right. Frustrated. I want to talk about
2011. Somebody said they were having details of the game relayed to him and a buddy while they were in their first deployment. And it's something they'll never forget about the 2011 game. There's the dinosaur kid. You remember the dinosaur kid?
Yeah, it was 2013.
2013,
after we got it to 17-14 at half.
Yeah, that's right. I know, and they pulled away and beat us. Then
Stop it, Matt.
LaRon Landry against
Matt,
Brody
cut
Cole
it
in
out.
hey, that
05.
2013 game, that was I cut my foot that day. Remember that game? Remember that? I cut my foot on a
Oh,
alcohol bottle.
in your attic, right?
No, I was
Interesting.
I was making a bar and I dropped this huge bottle of I forget what the alcohol was. I dropped it on the ground. I stepped on my foot and I tore a tendon that
I
morning.
remember that happening.
I had to go to the hospital and I
Yeah.
was like, kept looking at the clock and I was like, holy shit, it's like 5 o'clock. Oh my god, it's 5. Like we're gonna have to go back. And they were like,
Game
oh no,
kicks
no, no,
off
that
at
don't worry, that clock doesn't work on the wall. It's actually like 3. And I was like, oh my god, thank God, I was about to have a heart attack.
7.
So then they put a bandage on my foot and it was red, and I was like, you better fucking take this red bandage off right now. So they took the red bandage off and they found a purple one and they put a purple bandage on me instead, and we lost.
You should have kept the red one on.
So somebody said I met my wife while watching the 2011 game at the Chimes. Shout out.
Oh, wow. Good for you.
I always thought let's see. I can't read that one. LaRon Landry taking John Parker Wilson's soul. That was in
2006.
Yeah, 2006. Came right up the middle, 28-14. I remember that.
2000 LSU students and hard hats.
Funny story about 2006 game. 28-14. That was the first game I ever watched in a suite box. I was working at a bank and they gave me sweet tickets, and I took a friend of mine.
Subtle brag.
Yeah, no MBD.
Humble brag.
But I took one of my friends there and to the game, my old college roommate, and we go up to the suites and we know that we got these tickets for free and we really didn't belong there. And he walks up to the nachos, and up there they were like serving the nachos for you. And he grabs a whole bunch of chips and he puts them on his plate, and he walks over to the guy who's supposed to have like the cheese, the ladle, and the guy with the cheese was like, I'm so sorry. We just ran out of cheese. We have no cheese. And my friend had this plate of chips and he goes, you know how much fucking money I paid for these tickets? I was like, come on, bro, stop. So I remember that. That's one of the best memories I have of that game, actually. Josh Reed and Rohan Davey shredding them. That was in 2001.
Yeah.
Yep. Josh Reed had 290 receiving yards.
Yeah, something.
19 catches. 2005, Dwayne Bowe touchdown in overtime. The catch was Marcus Russell. That's right.
Was it Dwayne Bowe? I thought it was early Doucette.
It was Doucette. So yeah, they missed. He's confusing Ole Miss.
I didn't even watch the game.
Look at you, 2005. You
didn't even watch it. Come on, guys.
Guy. I mean,
I was like this many.
7? Yeah, you're like 6, 7.
6 or 7.
Another LaRon Landry one. Let's see.
Hang on, I got one. In 2000, LSU students in hard hats ran onto the field and mooned Alabama bench. LSU wins the game. I was 8. It was the best thing I've ever seen.
All right. Awesome. All right, here's another one. Threatening to squirt the Alabama easy. Threatening to squirt the Alabama girls with water while I was standing by the tent. I don't know what that means. But anyway.
We need to start proofreading some of these.
I think that was a girl. Holy. We need to DM her. Get her on the pod.
What's your number?
9-6 in Tuscaloosa. I was there. It was a freaking blast. Eric Reed interception at the 1 yard line in
2011, right?
Yeah, 2011.
Yeah, that's Marquise Mays threw the ball.
That's right, Marquise Mays.
Marquise.
Yeah, 1993, Pigs flew. That was a big time win. Curly Hallman
game. Yeah.
Curly Hallman, shout out. Anyway, that was a lot of great ones today. So. Chris Marler, big Vern Funquist, big Alabama homer. He said all the other ones, other than 2019, all the other ones. He just loves them all. That was a tough one. It's hard to talk shit to Alabama fans, which is why I'm never going back to Tuscaloosa ever again. They just don't know how to act. They don't know how to they have no idea how to even operate and function as human beings anymore. They're so worn down by Saban.
Well, you remember, because obviously we were there last year, and then after the game, they win, they beat us, and everyone's just pissed.
Yeah, they're just so mad.
They only
just
won by
like
6, and granted, only winning by 6 points against Max Johnson is just not great.
They
That's
did it
just
this year too.
huh?
So
Oh,
they
that's
did it this year
no,
too.
Max Johnson didn't play though. Max Johnson didn't play.
Oh, that's right.
Um, but man, I don't know. It was they were all just dicks.
oh, they
Dude.
were just
You had the stupid bitch that flipped our table.
Yep. Everything changed from that moment on. I was telling this story the other day to somebody about how like we were having a great time in Alabama. And shout out to Fred's. They hooked us up. We went to Alabama last year. We were staying at the hotel with them. We go to what was it, Innisfree. I had a good time there. We go out to their little tailgate area. We had a table out there. We met some cool people, and our table said I don't know what it said at the time, like Tuscaloosa is
So
boring or
like
something like that.
Tuscaloosa is boring. Changed my mind. Something like
Yeah,
that.
and then we had before that it was like 2019 LSU is better than 2020 Bama. Changed my
Yeah,
mind. Well, then some girl flips the fucking table over,
yeah.
and everything. It's like the entire town of Tuscaloosa turned to like black and white at that point for me. Like it was just like it was a gloomy area.
Mhm.
And I wasn't even there when the lady flipped the lady when the little fucking chick flipped the table. I
Mhm.
was somewhere else. Y'all were walking back to me, and Zach, you,
Well, okay.
Will
You know what?
were pissed.
I'm going to be honest. I would have
Pissed.
been perfectly fine with her flipping our table if it was like, just like not there were no consequences to it. It could have been funny, but we had like 13 fucking drinks on this table
Yeah,
that like we paid for. So it was like she probably flipped over like $100 worth of alcohol, something like
right,
that.
right.
It was really fucking annoying.
But
That
when
that was
when
that was
I
the
saw
big
y'all come
part
back
is
and
that
y'all
like
were so
now
mad, I was like,
I'm not only mad, but I'm gonna have to be sober now. So
yeah,
that was the worst.
oh,
That
that was a
that
bad
girl fucking
time.
sucks. I wonder if
Um,
anyone's found her yet. We should repost her. See if anyone.
well, we got taken down from Twitter because it was bullying and
Yeah,
harassment.
but
So
Twitter.
I
Twitter.
mean, TikTok. I'm sorry.
We'll put her on Twitter.
Yeah. We'll have to pull that video. I'll find it.
We'll find it. It's
Repost
on
it
my
for.
phone. I was videoing it.
Okay, good.
I'll I'm gonna
Let's
post it tonight.
yeah, TikTok, Twitter, do y'all's thing.
Mhm.
Let's find this fucking whore
Yeah.
that flipped our
Let's
table.
make
It's
her
ridiculous.
homeless.
Yeah. Let's
Go flip her house.
exactly.
Let's go. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying.
Flip her. All right. So, all right. Before we were gonna wrap up, we were gonna talk a little bit. We always have to make fun of Texas A&M if there's ever an
Absolute shit
prime
show.
opportunity, and now we have one for sure.
Dude, did y'all see Glenn Gilbo's? I mean, we're not Glenn
All
Gilbo.
right. So
Yes.
tell me about. I didn't
His
read the
headline
article.
sounds
funny.
fucking
The
fun.
headline was great. Is that what you meant
Damn,
by that?
yeah. Y'all go ahead and talk. I'll go.
Well, so all right. The story is obviously, if anybody doesn't know, that A&M is got
Suspended 4 freshmen.
four freshmen from their all-time record recruiting class. They're suspended indefinitely. One of them is Denver Harris, who's from Louisiana,
Right.
and who was doing like 100 miles an hour in a parking garage a few weeks ago, and now did something else. What was the
Glenn Gilbo.
headline?
This is elite. This is an elite headline.
Oh, I got it.
Anybody still high on preseason number 6 Aggies? Because they are.
Get it?
This is good stuff, man.
So the story is before the South Carolina
Before
game,
the game, too.
they were getting high in the locker room.
God, that's so
And
good.
then I saw
It's got to be like a DAT pin or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Because
So then
there's no way they just like rolled a J in the locker room. They don't have
right.
time. Who has time for that?
No, so Nick Fitzgerald, the old quarterback at Mississippi State, had
Uh-huh.
retweeted something, and he said, "You none of y'all understand how like common this is apparently
Really?
in locker rooms that guys are like smoking weed, and I don't know if it's because they're trying to get relaxed because they're about to like hit a whole bunch of fucking people or what, but like I'm sure there's rules that you shouldn't be
Yeah.
getting
Maybe
fucking
you shouldn't be
high
doing it in the
in a
locker room and in the bathroom, but
It seems to me, if that's true, I could still say that like it seems to me like there's just a culture problem there, and if that is true, that is a very common thing, then
Mhm.
like I would even go as far to say that like Jimbo was kind of maybe looking for something to suspend some people for.
I can
Uh,
see that. Yeah,
was
for
maybe like
sure. Like
keeping a closer
usually
eye
it
on
would be something that
direction.
you would overlook, and now you're not going to overlook it because you're just
Right.
trying to get some guys on the sideline.
Yeah.
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 Well, apparently there's like a lot of like turmoil between the freshman class and like they're here's the thing, they're getting paid a lot of money,
Yep.
and the guys
They
that
don't
are
really want to be
there,
there.
the guys that are there that have been there probably aren't getting paid as much as those guys are, and here we are. This is
Yeah.
what happens. If you
Yeah.
don't know how to manage this fucking shit and you start losing, this is what's going to happen. We've seen it. We fucking know how that is. Like you start losing and you start getting attitude problems from guys you never thought you would have an attitude problem from.
Yeah. And part of it's definitely like, and I think, I think Jimbo's probably getting ripped right now, and they're 3-4, and all that's going on. But I think actually, the way I see it is like him suspending some of the players is actually him trying to like regroup the culture a little bit, and like
Not going to work.
Well, it's not.
You never
Yeah.
know. You never know what's going to spark.
I
Get a spark on a team, especially in college football.
Well,
I
I think we
can
were
see it
looking at
being
their
the same.
schedule. I think we were looking at their schedule, and like we're
They
looking at
need 3 more wins.
6-6 is what
5
we're looking
games
at
left.
Well,
for A&M right now.
we do need to be worried about this. Like, is there a chance because like they're Texas 8-4? Are they going to win out? They have
Right.
4 losses. Are they going to just win out?
Yeah, just magically and be like, yes, we did it again.
Everything regresses to the mean, right? So are they going
Right.
to regress to 8-4? Is it going to happen? This is what I said. I said early in the season. I said if they're 7-4 going into the game against us, I'm going to be very concerned.
Oh, that is true. That is
I'm
true.
going to be very concerned.
So
Um,
their next 5 games, they start off with Ole Miss next week or this week. They have Ole
they're
Miss
losing
this
to Ole
week,
Miss. They're
I
losing to Ole Miss.
don't think that's a chalk it up.
Auburn, Florida, UMass, us.
Auburn, Florida, UMass. I could see them winning all 3 of those and then losing us.
I think if they get pressure on Jackson Dart, I think they could absolutely win that game because we know
They
what
have
Jackson
the
Dart looks
recipe
like.
to win.
Exactly. And
Yep.
so kind of what I'm saying here is like, think back to last year when like some of our more problem guys or whatever, like opted out or had injuries or whatever. That was Florida week that happened. And there's all these guys sitting out, and all of a sudden, like just for no reason, a spark hits the team. And it's because like there's like these less talented guys, but like want to play more kind of thing. And that's kind of what I've seen from A&M is just like they just look like a defeated football team and like they don't care. So I actually kind of think this was supposed to be a Texas A&M hate segment. I'm kind of turning it into like I think they're gonna beat Ole Miss this week.
The difference between us and Texas A&M is Texas A&M's offense is fucking bad.
Yeah, but their defense is great.
But the thing is South Carolina, and they lost, was the first FBS team they had more yards than. They outgained. Was the first FBS team.
No, their
all
offense is
season.
terrible. I'm not advocating for their offense. All I'm saying is like I think there's going to be a spark lit on the defensive side, and I just think they haven't played a home game in over a month too. So this is their first home game since Miami.
That is true.
A
Wow.
fucking while ago.
Texas A&M was
That was
close
the same
to
week
1-5.
That was the same week we beat Mississippi State, by the way, just for
Wow.
reference on how long ago that was. That was their last home game.
I mean, next year our schedule, it's like we have 2 home games in the first 5, and then we have 4 of the last 5 are home games.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Alabama's the only away game.
That ain't bad. That ain't bad at all. Hopefully all night. I can't.
All right.
By the way,
Let's wrap it up a little short because next week we're gonna get into the game a little bit more. It's a bye week. Bye week. We need to rest ourselves as well. We need to get off our feet. We need to self-scout.
Have a couple cigars.
Self-scout a little bit.
Night game.
Night game. We need to rest up.
Night game.
Oh,
we
baby.
need to rest up. Oh, we're gonna be out there. We're the whole fucking crew.
I'm getting out there just as early as I got out there for the day games. Fuck.
Yeah.
I'm just
it's gonna be
used
balls
to
to the
schedule
wall
now. So screw it.
And this is it. Like this is
I'm
our
getting
Super
drunk
Bowl.
11 a.m. still. I don't.
One
care.
team, one podcast. One team, one podcast. This is our Super Bowl. It's a game of the year.
Yeah.
Watch Nick Saban lose.
It's the game of the century. I'm just gonna start calling it that now.
Well, let's do that. Game of the century.
I'm just gonna start pumping it up that way.
I like that. Let's just do that all the time, all week. GOTC.
Uh-huh.
Game of the century. All right, so a couple other sponsors I want to talk about. Courtesy Automotive Group, Brandon Lejean over at Courtesy. We appreciate him over in Lafayette. So give him a call, though. He can find a car for you. They can do all the paperwork for you online. Then they can ship the car to you. So you can do all this stuff right there. So give him a call at 337-224-1867. Also, Bocock Brothers Cigars. Big shout out to Doug and Bryant. They were actually there. They were actually there at Fred's, and we had a couple of cigars there. Charlie, you had some cigars, huh? You gave you some. I think
that was great, man.
Tate had some. Yeah, they're fantastic guys. So out of the Houston area, but they're LSU alums. They'll come down here as much as they can, but they made it a trip. Gave me a ticket, couldn't make it, obviously. But appreciate those guys. They gave me a box. They came back by here on Sunday. I was hung the fuck over. They came here on Sunday. I didn't have a car. They drove to my house. They gave me a box of the new signature edition cigars to help me ease my pain. Yeah. So appreciate those guys. All right.
I got a Bocock cigar that you gave me maybe for Christmas or graduation, something like that.
Man. I enjoyed that.
I've been holding it on. I've been holding on to it for a good while, and it's getting smoked if we beat Bama next week.
Okay,
smoke them if you got them
on the field.
Oh
maybe
yeah,
so. Maybe I just take the.
You're
let's
gonna
do it.
Start handing them out to the team. So
That's still that's still maybe my favorite picture of this year for college football is the photo of outside of Neyland Stadium after the Alabama win, and like they said, this is what like 100,000 people smoking cigars looks like, and it's just like this huge pile of smoke that's coming out of this. It's an unbelievable photo,
dude. It had to smell crazy.
Yeah, dude. You know, after the game, like they go and smoke them in the locker rooms and stuff, and they've just been doing this forever. Like, yeah, it's got to be like out of control.
Sure, plenty of Bococks out there.
Exactly. So we'll have a whole bunch of Bococks. I think he's actually giving me a shipment maybe this week. So if we can get that before then, that would be good. Yeah. All right. So let's regroup. We'll be back next week. We'll be active on social media. Jack is like fucking killing it on Twitter. So go follow us on our Twitter. One Team One Pod. Yeah, so One Team One Pod. Yeah, right.
Winning, dude.
Absolutely. When LSU wins, it's so
anything.
Great.
It's getting 100 likes. People are just happy, honestly.
All right. So follow us on all of our other platforms, Instagram and TikTok, and this is on YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube, please like and share. That would help us a lot. All right. So for Charlie running the board, Jack, this has been Matt. It has been One Team One Podcast.
Logan out. Nailed that one.